Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this show. Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what is going on in this crazy crypto space. We have highs, we have lows, but what's in the news actually causing all this? And that's what I always like to cover. And Bitcoin's doing quite well today. We're still at 92,000. It's not breaking that 93,000 support level, but we are still at $92,400, still going up. So Bitcoin is doing great. I believe this is a nice little Christmas relief rally going on. So as long as we're still holding these levels, bulls are still in. Our fear and greed index is rising. So things are looking good and very bullish still. So nothing really to fear. And also, I've been watching a lot of shows too, like Anthony Pompliano, Ivan on Tech. It's like anything can happen in this space. So like, is this the start of the new cycle now? So it's like, we just had a dip. Are we going to now be experiencing these types of rises? So there's a lot of speculation and talk going on out there. I just love being in the space. But let's go over what the title of this new show was on CZ for SCHIFF. If you didn't know, over in Dubai, they're having Blockchain Week hosted by Binance. And yeah, there was a great interview with Peter Schiff, the gold man, and CZ, and they were battling it out on who's right about Bitcoin or gold. So let's start off with that news article, and then we will continue on with a bunch more news articles that came out today. But CZ and Peter Schiff face off at Binance Blockchain Week 2025, Bitcoin or tokenized gold. Now, Binance Blockchain Week delivered one of its most anticipated moments when Changpeng Zhao, otherwise known as CZ, founder of Binance and Giggle Academy, took the stage opposite of Peter Schiff, senior economist and founder of Euro Pacific Asset Management and Schiff Gold. And Binance tweeted out that we are live now, and you could have watched it from this link. And the debate tackled a defining question for the global financial landscape. Is the future of sound money rooted in Bitcoin, or will tokenized gold ultimately prevail? The atmosphere was charged with investors, developers, policymakers, and institutional delegates filing the main hall for what quickly became a clash of ideologies, economics, and technology. Now let's start off with Peter Schiff, and tokenized gold enhances what already works. So Peter Schiff has framed tokenized gold not as competition to Bitcoin, but just as the modernization of a centuries-tested store of value. Tokenized gold improves all the monetary properties of gold while it remains a store of value. Now, the token is just simply the evidence that you own the gold in the vault. He argued that the technology solves the core logistical weakness of gold, portability, without undermining its intrinsic qualities. Now, for money purposes, tokenized gold is better than physical gold. Ownership can change hands while the gold never leaves the vault. So that's actually pretty cool. And if you've never seen this face, I don't know how you couldn't. Here is Peter Schiff. But Schiff reminded the audience that the gold's value is anchored in utility, rarity, and historical trust. Now, what gives gold value is not that you can touch it, but that it has real utility as a metal. And there are industries that need gold and things only gold can do. And I do hear that all the time. Like, I think someone commented on my BitChute account saying, oh yeah, I had Bitcoin in like 2010, sold it, he definitely made a profit on it and moved it to gold. And it's like, I like gold because I can hold it. But that is a lot of people out there who just do it. But again, gold does have intrinsic value for its chemical properties, AU. Isn't that gold is AU, man? It's only been so long since I've been in chemistry, right? But I do remember gold's ticker because I remember they told us, like, hey, when the gold miners in California are mining for gold, they always go, AU. I found some gold over here. So that's how I remembered how AU is the abbreviation for gold. But okay, how did I get sidetracked on that? But for Schiff, tokenization is evolutionary, not revolutionary, retaining the asset while also removing friction. Now let's talk about CZ and how he talked about digital value needs no physical form at all. So CZ countered with the argument that Bitcoin is native to the internet economy and benefits from being purely digital. If I give you Bitcoin right now, we can verify it in several ways that you received it. It settles instantly and transparently on-chain. Now, he positioned Bitcoin as more than just a currency. It's a global, decentralized ecosystem. And Bitcoin is more than just a transaction network. It is an entire industry with many use cases and a very large global community behind it. And here is CZ himself. Now, CZ dismissed the notion that money requires physical backing to be credible, comparing Bitcoin's value to that of tech platforms, and the internet is virtual. There's nothing physical about Google or X, but they clearly have value. Many virtual things have value, and that value is not tied to physical properties. Now, two philosophies, one converging future. The debate highlighted a broader shift of traditional assets that are being digitized, while native digital assets continue to mature. Tokenized gold caters to those who value tangible backing and historical stability, and Bitcoin speaks to the generation aligned with decentralization and borderless liquidity. Now, if Binance Blockchain Week made one thing clear, it's that the future of money may not be defined by just one asset, but how well traditional and digital systems coexist, compete, and inevitably converge. And I say that all the time. It's like, it's not just a one all, like one coin's going to be the one ring to rule them all, Lord of the Rings reference, but it's just like, no, we're going to have options to choose off from there, whether it's Bitcoin, XRP, tokenized gold, still cash, because that's not going to go away anytime soon. It's going away, but just not sometime soon. So, but we'll have options to be able to use those, and they'll compete. It's just going to be just how any economy works out there. So, yeah, so I like how we all agree on that. It's like, it's not just maybe one to rule all, but there'll be some nice options. And yeah, tokenized gold does help out with just the ability of showing ownership. The gold is in a vault. Your real world asset, the tokenization version of it, that shows your ownership of that gold in the vault. It's easily transferable, so you're not having to lug thousands of pounds of gold with you to get on the plane or the cruise, which you probably can't even do anyways because they have limits to that, and then they can seize it. Simple, just in your crypto wallet. You need to send that gold to somebody. It's like, oh, what's your, let's say Ethereum address, because most likely it'll be on the Ethereum network. What's your ETH address? Boom, copy, paste, send them that tokenized gold, and whatever they want to do with it, withdraw the gold, sell it, they can do it now. So tokenized gold is just, the next evolution in the monetary asset out there. So yeah, but that's what went on with Blockchain Week and Peter Schiff. But there was a funny Twitter post about this too, where CZ Binance tricks Peter Schiff into believing the gold bar he gave him was 100% real. Absolutely hilarious. Let's watch this.
Thank you for that. It's pretty heavy. I have a nice box here.
What is that?
It has some, I think it's Turkish language. Took it back from Kyrgyzstan. He has a certificate. I got this from a very important person from Kyrgyzstan. Very recently, just completely by luck. So we take it out. It's pretty heavy. Put this down. You see, it says Kyrgyzstan, 1,000 grams, refined gold, 99.9.9, and a serial number. Try it.
Yes, it's heavy.
Is it real gold or no?
Well, I don't know. Is this what you're trying to say?
Try to prove the gold man knows what true gold is.
Well, the color is a little bit. This is pure gold. My bracelet is pure gold.
Thank you.
Okay, that was pretty funny because CZ just trolling Peter Schiff like, oh, look at this gold brick here. It's got the stamp, it's got the code and everything. Here, feel it, because he's the gold man. Like when you have like that label, like I guess people are expecting him like he should know, like, oh, it is heavy. Then he's like, I want to compare it to my watch. This is real gold. Oh, so it was fun. They had fun during that event, and there's plenty of other great speakers going on there. I just wanted to at least cover this one article today, and there'll probably be more about what they talked about there later on, and articles will flow out, and I'll share with you if you're not watching the Binance Week online. But that is our first news article I wanted to cover with you. Now let's talk about something like Bitcoin Policy Institute calls for a samurai wallet pardon as petition tops 3,200. So some Bitcoin communities out there are trying to look for a pardon for the samurai creators. The samurai wallet, they've been criminalized for, what was it again? Unlicensed money transmitter, and the conspiracies to criminalize non-custodial code. Or I think the other one was the conspiracy to money laundering. I think that one was blown out, but this article did get taken off. But hey, it's Bitcoin related news, and again, I saw something with FTX, who was that? Sam Bankman-Fried still wanting a party. Like, I don't think that man's going to get it. But what about the samurai wallets? Is this a hit at unlicensed money transmitters, as well as conspiracy to criminalize non-custodial code? Well, let's find out. So, calls for president pardon for Samurai Wallet developer Keon Rodriguez and William Lonergan Hill are swelling, with Bitcoin advocates and policy groups urging U.S. President Donald Trump to intervene before the pair are due to report to prison next year. Now, Rodriguez and Hill were sentenced in November to 5 and 4 years in prison, respectively, after pleading guilty to conspiring to operate an unlicensed money transmitter business. Now, under the plea deal, each admitted only to conspiring to run an unlicensed money transmitting business, with the laundering charges dropped. Both are due to reports of prison in early January 2026, unless a pardon can be secured. Now, high-profile figures in Bitcoin's community have voiced their support for pardons, including veteran broadcaster and Bitcoin advocate Max Keiser, Bitcoin media entrepreneur Marty Bent, and host of the Bitcoin podcast Walker America. Now, the Bitcoin Policy Institute's Zach Shapiro made a case for a full pardon, arguing that the Samurai case misapplies federal money transmission law to non-custodial software. And here is Keon Rodriguez's tweet on November 20th. It would mean a lot if you would sign this petition calling on real Donald Trump to pardon me and Bill. In 30 days, we will report to prison unless the president steps in. Developers shouldn't be liable for actions of bad actors using their software. And is that the whole BitConnect thing? Or what was that one exchange out there? That was Charles Schwab. It might have been Charles Schwab. Right? Yeah, I think he did time in prison because he created a platform and exchange people purchase crypto from, but then they used it for illicit activities on the Silk Road, and so he was the one in charge. So it's like, yeah, developers shouldn't be liable for the actions of bad actors, because again, it's already happening in our normal traditional system as is. We got banks, we got ATM machines, and there's still drug dealers out there who still prefer fiat cash, and not just Bitcoin, as the mainstream media likes to say, but they will go to the ATM, pull out cash that can't be tracked at that point, go to their drug dealer, buy drugs, boom, they did an illegal activity, and then shouldn't the banks be liable? They'll just get a slap on the wrist, but this is more going actually after the developers of it. You created this app to do this, and now we're going to punish you because bad people used it. It's like, no. So, yeah, so Trump has to step in, otherwise him and his brother, was that his brother? I forgot, but will be going to prison next year for 4 to 5 years. But the Bitcoin Policy Institute pardon would restore legal clarity. On December 2nd, the Bitcoin Policy Institute published a detailed case in favor of pardoning the Samurai developers, arguing that the prosecution was based on misapplication of federal money transmission law and that non-custodial tools fall outside the BSA's money transmitter framework. Now, in BPI's view, treating the Samurai developers as money transmitters erases the long-standing legal distinction between software publishers and financial intermediaries. Now, the Institute further warns that allowing the conviction to stand risks chilling innovation and privacy-preserving Bitcoin tools in the United States. Now, from the BPI's perspective, a pardon would correct a clear misapplication of federal law, protect the integrity of long-standing distinctions in financial regulation, and reaffirm that publishing non-custodial software is not and should not become a criminal act. Now, communities have been rallying behind Samurai developers. The petition to pardon the Samurai devs had acquired more than 3,200 signatures at the time of writing, and with the support from the Bitcoin community and beyond, Walker America, he posted on December 2nd that President Trump should pardon the Samurai wallet developers. If Donald Trump truly wants America to be a Bitcoin capital of the world, then our government must not unjustly incarcerate Bitcoin developers while turning a blind eye to big bankers' crimes. And like that's what I was saying before this article, it's like we should not turn a blind eye to the big bankers who are doing all this stuff already, as we still incarcerate the Bitcoin developers. And again, if we want to be the Bitcoin capital, we can't just be putting the developers to try and improve all this in prison. That's just going to stop everything. So, yeah, so hopefully President Trump does see these tweets out there. Now, Max Keiser also tagged Eric Trump on November 8th, writing, "Eric, time to step it up," as the Samurai case reached the inner circle of the Trump world influencers. Now, the Libertarian Party of Oregon also weighed in with support for a pardon and freedom of expression, arguing that code is speech. Now, pardons, optics, and the billionaire paradox. Since assuming office, Trump has built a notable track record of issuing crypto-adjacent pardons, including high-profile clemency for Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht and Binance founder Changpeng Zhao. Now, that backdrop has led some in the Bitcoin community to question the optics of how pardons are being deployed. A billionaire exchange founder involved in the sprawling compliance scandal receives a pardon, while 2 open-source wallet developers serve 4- and 5-year terms. The perceived corruption associated with the CZ pardon will look even worse if the Samurai wallet devs aren't pardoned for similar charges. Now, how much of World Liberty Financial's USD1 stablecoin does one need to hold to receive a pardon? Bitcoin researcher Kyle Torpey commented, Now, the clock is ticking, and advocates say what happens in the coming weeks will say as much about the future of privacy-focused development in the U.S. as it does about the fate of 2 coders heading to prison. So, do you guys believe out there that these 2 developers should be pardoned? Let me know in the chats below. I think they should, because, again, this would change a lot of stuff and also future litigations on like other future developers out there. So if this does get pardoned, it will change the rules on like what they can actually deem criminal activity on there. So so that's what's going on in like the Bitcoin community. Now let's continue on with some more news, because I have a bunch of articles to get through today. Next up, we're going to be talking about Argentine state-owned energy giant weighs in on crypto payments to fuel reports. So adoption is happening around the world for crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. Like the world is changing, and we get articles like this every day. And even though sometimes there may be some misinformation online, which is our next article. Is that one? Crypto challenges. Yep. Crypto group challenges Aussie Broadcast Corp for citing factual errors in Bitcoin. Like there's still false information going in the mainstream media. So let's talk about some of the good news first, though. So Argentina state oil company YPF is reportedly exploring crypto payments as it fuels stations as adoption of digital assets rises, following the recent rollout of the U.S. dollar transactions. So Yacimientos Petrofilores Fiscales, I also say YPF, that'd be a lot easier to say, Argentina's state-controlled energy company is reportedly considering allowing drivers to pay for gasoline and diesel with cryptocurrency as digital assets continue to gain traction in everyday transactions across the country. Now, the plan could rely on a third-party processor rather than a direct wallet payments, including local and international platforms such as Lemon, Ripio, or Binance to handle conversions. Now, local news outlet La Nación reported on Tuesday, citing that people familiar with the matter. The reviews comes 2 months after YPF began accepting U.S. dollar payments as its stations, a step that made the country's first fuel chain to price and process sales in U.S. dollars. Now, the policy came amid a broader push by the economy's minister, Luis Caputo, to encourage the circulation of hard currency as a way of stabilizing transactions and restoring confidence in the peso. Now, if adopted, the system would mirror the mechanics of YPF that they already use for the US dollar purchases. The report said that customers would scan a QR code and transfer funds to YPF's account at Banco Santander, with the app displaying the peso equivalent and a reference rate based on buying price from Banco Nación. Now, currently, Argentina ranks 20th in the global crypto adoption space. So yeah, Argentina placed 20th in the 2025 Global Crypto Adoption Index. The country's retail centralized services rank sits at 18, while institutional centralized services come in at 19, indicating growing crypto adoption by both everyday users and large entities compared to the peers. And here is that 2025 chart showing the crypto's adoption index. And really, India is number 1. I thought they just did a terrible taxation on everything. So is this more on this retail ranking? I don't know. So this chart's kind of weird. So United States is 2, Pakistan, but Argentina comes in 20th. But however, despite growing adoption, the country has also faced some controversy over the Libra crypto scandal. In February, President Javier Milei shared a post on X endorsing the Libra meme coin, which quickly surged to a $4 billion market cap before crashing by 94% hours later. Now, the move led to investors losing investor losses totaling hundreds of millions and triggered calls from opposition members for Milei's impeachment. However, Milei claimed he only spread the word about the token, not promoted it. Now, the US-backed $20 billion Argentina bailout has been scrapped. In a major blow to the country's dire economic situation, a planned $20 billion rescue for Argentina involving JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citigroup was shelved last month. So according to the Wall Street Journal, instead of sweeping bailout that had included a $20 billion U.S. Treasury currency swap and a parallel bank-led facility, lenders are discussing a $5 billion repo-style loan under the proposal, and Argentina would post assets to secure dollars to meet a looming $4 billion January debt payment, then refinance in bond markets to repay the banks. So that's kind of good that they scrapped that, because, well, if they did print more money, that just lowers the dollar value more, which hence would make Bitcoin's value higher, but I think that would be bearish news there. But no, yeah, so Argentina's state-owned energy company, YPF, yeah, I'm calling YPF. Sorry, I forgot its name. Yacimientos Petrolieros Fiscales. So they are weighing in on crypto payments. So they haven't started it yet, but they are eyeing it. They're seeing the rise in crypto adoption. And again, like every company and business out there, they're going to have to eventually come to the conclusion that we can't miss out on this. There are so many people involved in crypto and Bitcoin out there who want to spend it, use it as a currency. So they're just missing out on people who actually just want to spend money, because that's the whole point of businesses. You want to be able to get people to spend their money on your products. So by them just like not accepting crypto payments, they're stopping a group of people out there, which again would hurt the profits. So eventually everyone's going to get on board with this. As of right now, they're weighing in, and I'll keep you guys informed on when they do make a final decision and actually implement crypto payments with their fuel. So that would be pretty cool. And let's continue on. So I was saying in the next article from the previous article that in this one, like, yeah, there is still false information going out there. And this, I believe, happened in Australia. So again, crypto group challenges the Aussie Broadcast Corp for citing factual errors in Bitcoin coverage. So a major Australian crypto industry group has lodged a formal complaint with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, arguing that recent coverage of Bitcoin contained multiple errors and biased tones. So according to the industry group, the broadcaster presented a one-sided view that overemphasized criminal usage and volatility while leaving out legitimate uses and data. Now, a BIB calls for corrections and responses within 60 days. So based on reports, the Australian Bitcoin industry body, or ABIB, or ABIB, they say it asked ABC to correct specific statements it considers false or misleading and to publish clarifications. The complaint was made public on December 3rd, 2025, and ABIB posted about the filing on social media. Now, the complainants singled out passages that they say describe Bitcoin largely as a tool for criminals and painted it as having little to no legitimate use. They pointed to sections that, in the view, ignored examples of Bitcoin being used for grid balancing and for humanitarian transfers. And here is a BIB's Twitter post that they made public. The Australian Bitcoin industry body has lodged a formal complaint against the ABC News regarding the recent article on Bitcoin. The piece can make, they're just letting the public know, like, it had many factual errors out there. And again, this is keeps people still just out of the loop and uneducated. So we got to stop spreading false information. But ABC coverage focused on money laundering concerns. Reports have disclosed that ABC ran pieces discussing the changing role of Bitcoin in illicit flows, including a recent story that examined whether Bitcoin is losing ground to stablecoins such as Tether when used in money laundering, and that report drew particular ear from ABIB. Now, industry group says numbers and context were missing. So ABIB has argued that some context and figures were omitted from ABC's coverage, and one outlet summarized that ABIB's broader claim that the media depiction was skewed at the time when adoption figures sometimes cited about 31% nationally emulated coverage, so should also be part of the public debate as well with this. But what happens next in possible escalation? So this is still going on right now. So if ABC does not satisfy ABIB's complaint within 60 days, the matter could be escalated to Australia's communications regulator for review. The regulator can investigate whether editorial standards were breached and recommend corrective actions or other remedies. And there has been pushback from media and regulators, so this will matter. Some newsrooms say robust coverage of risks is their duty. Others in the crypto sector argue that balanced reporting should include both harm and legitimate uses. Now, the dispute highlights tensions as regulators, media, and industries all jockey to shape public understanding while new rules for crypto take form. Now, headlines and policy talk. Reports show that ABC has recently run several finance and crypto pieces, including coverage of price moves and policy debates. One ABC item referenced U.S. President Donald Trump in his discussion of the political moves that have touched crypto policy, and that inclusion was noted in a pushback from the industry groups. Now, ABIB wants clear corrections, not just apologies. So according to ABIB, the aim is not to silence scrutiny, but just to ensure facts are correct for readers and for policymakers. The group says accurate public reporting matters because they can shape future regulation and public trust. Multiple news outlets have covered ABIB's action and quoted its request that ABC publish corrections where errors are found. So yeah, we want more than just apology. We want clear corrections because, again, it does build trust. It does make decisions on future policy changes out there. So again, like we cannot be spreading this false news. This is just going to hinder innovation. Like I use that word a lot because again, we've been stifling innovation, and now we're finally booming past that, and like the country is innovating like no other. Like we're number 2 on that crypto innovations list that the Argentina article showed us, right here. So yeah, we are still number 2. But it's because if we were still doing what we were doing 2 years ago, United States probably would be falling a little bit down because nothing was being changed. Like we are getting just more like very brutal rules. It's like it made you not want to be started a crypto or Bitcoin business in America. So because these policies moves have been made, major adoption has been taking place. So yeah, so hopefully, yeah, we fix that error and just start spreading just more accurate news out there. And hey, that's what we're doing here at the Crypto Clubs. We are just spreading you information, we're educating you, we're giving you the right facts. That way you know what's going on in the space and not just trying to stumble across all the FUD articles, fake news, and real ones, because it would get blended in and now you're like, what's real, what's not? So that's what we're here for at the clubs. We're here to help you understand what's going on and help you just navigate the space safely. Now let's continue with our next article, because I have so many, I'm not going to take a break yet, even though we're already 25 minutes in, dang. But guess what just came out today? It's the Ethereum Fusaka upgrade. It went live, and Buterin explains why it is significant. Well, it's significant in many ways. Like this is going to give Ethereum cheaper gas transactions, so that's a plus right there. So no longer worrying about that $20 fee. So hopefully it will reduce transactions, higher throughput of XTOs and stuff. So anybody who's been building dApps on Ethereum, and once those apps start integrating the upgrade, you'll probably see faster and smoother transitions within their app. And I think there's like another thing positive about it, but I just can't remember it right now. But no, there's many great things happening with this Ethereum Fusaka upgrade. Now let's hear what Ethereum Buterin actually has to say about it. So Ethereum's Fusaka upgrade is now live on mainnet, marking a major structural change in how the network handles data and scaling. The upgrade was activated at epoch 411392 at 21:49:11 UTC time, with the official Ethereum account first signaling upgrades in progress, activating Fusaka at epoch 411392, and then confirming that Fusaka is live on the Ethereum mainnet. Now, in its announcement, the account highlighted 3 core elements of Fusaka's pure DOS now unlocks 8 times data throughput for rollups, substantially expanding the amount of data that the rollup-based Layer 2 networks can publish to the network. The upgrade also introduced UX improvements via the R1 curve and pre-confirmations, and described as explicit prep for scaling the Layer 1's gas limit increase and more. So that was the one that fixed the gas fee, so it makes it a little bit cheaper. And the project also added the community members and core developers will continue to monitor and issue over the next 24 hours to make sure everything's smooth. But why Fusaka is significant for Ethereum? Well, Vitalik Buterin framed the core of the upgrade in an unusually direct terms. Pure DOS in Fusaka is significant because it literally is sharding, he wrote. Ethereum is coming to consensus on blocks without requiring any single node to see more than a tiny fraction of the data, and this is robust to 51% attacks. It's client-side probabilistic verification, not validator voting. In other words, the network can now agree on blocks even though no nodes has to download all of the associated data, relying on the probabilistic verification on its client side. Now, Buterin tied this to long-running research lines, noting that sharding has been a dream for Ethereum since 2015, and data availability sampling since 2017, and linking back to early research work on data availability and erasure coding. With Fusaka, that architecture is no longer just a roadmap concept, but a live mechanism securing Ethereum's data layer. Now, at the same time, Buterin was clear that Fusaka does not complete the sharding roadmap. He stressed that there are 3 ways that the sharding in Fusaka is incomplete. First, he argued that we can process 0 transactions, which is C to the power 2 in this formula, and where C is the per node compute. Now on layer 2s, but not on the Ethereum layer 1, adding that if we want to scale the benefit of the Ethereum layer 1 as well, beyond what we can get by constant factor upgrades like BAL and EPBS, we need mature ZK EVMs. Now, second, he also pointed to the proposer/builder bottleneck, where the builder needs to have the whole data and build a whole block, and said it would be amazing to have distributed block building. And third, he noted bluntly that we don't have a sharded mempool. We still need that. So despite those caveats, Buterin called Fusaka a fundamental step forward in the blockchain design. He argued that the next 2 years will give us time to refine the peer DOS mechanism, carefully increase its scale, while we also continue to ensure its stability, use its scale layer 2s, and then when ZK EVMs are mature, churn it inwards to scale Ethereum layer 1 gas as well on top of it. Now, he closed by sending big congrats to Ethereum researchers and core devs who worked hard for years to make this happen, underscoring that for the Ethereum community, Fusaka is not a routine protocol update, but the arrival of a long-promised sharding era on mainnet. So this is just a stepping stool in that long process that's been waiting. So that's cool. So the Ethereum Fusaka upgrade is live. We're working on cheaper gas transaction. Again, this is just a stepping stone to finally get sharding on Ethereum's blockchain. So that is awesome. And And let's see, let's continue on. We're on Ethereum, so I'm still not going to take a break. Yeah, I'll take a break after this next article. But Bitmine adds another $150 million in Ethereum to its treasury in a fresh accumulation push. So the whales, again, are buying back in, and we're feeling a little bit bullish again. Looking at the crypto bubbles, we're in green or 50% red, but it's been a lot better than seeing red. Like last week, oh my gosh, red every single day, you can't go over. So it's nice seeing some green again. Yesterday there was more, but no, so whales are keeping the price up right now, which is pretty nice. And they're also adding it too. Right here, we're seeing it, the 150 million in ETH. So let's hear about this new buy. So the company now holds over 3% of Ethereum's supply and is openly targeting a 5% stake. Now, Bitmine, the Ethereum-focused treasury firm led by Tom Lee, has added another $150 million worth of Ethereum to its balance sheet, according to on-chain data shared Wednesday by Arkham. Now, the data shows that the company received 18,345 ETH via BitGo and a further 30,278 Ethereum through Kraken, pointing to one of the largest single inflows into a corporate Ethereum treasury this year. Now, Bitmine has not yet issued a formal confirmation of the transfers, though the wallet movements align with its recent buying pattern. Now, Bitmine builds its 3% stake in Ethereum as it still targets 5% supply. The firm has steadily built its Ethereum position throughout 2025, even during November's market pullback. In the final week of last month alone, Bitmine snapped up 96,798 Ethereum, lifting its holdings to more than 3% of the Ethereum circulating supply. Now, management has previously said it aims to ultimately control around 5% of all Ethereum, framing Ethereum not just as a store of value, but as a core infrastructure for financial markets. Now, here's a tweet from Arkham showing that Tom Lee just bought the dip of 150 million ETH. Two fresh wallets just withdrew 92 million of ETH from Kraken. One withdrew 58 million from BitGo, matching prior Bitmine purchase patterns. So we believe this is their wallet and they're doing it. But the aggressive strategy stands out at a time when other digital asset treasuries are easing off. Figures from Bitwise show companies that bought 370,000 ETH in November, an 81% drop from August peak of 1.97 million ETH. Lee said in December 1st, disclosures that several near-term developments are shaping his outlook, including Ethereum's Fusaka upgrade and expectations that the Federal Reserve will bring its balance sheet reduction program to an end. Now, last month, Lee said Ethereum may be entering the early stages of the type of explosive growth cycle that propelled Bitcoin to a 100x rally since 2017. Now, Lee said that the current Ethereum market resembles Bitcoin's setup 8 years ago, a period marked by deep volatility that ultimately preceded one of the strongest bull cycles in crypto history. Lee also noted that his firm first recommended Bitcoin to Fundstrat clients in 2017 when Bitcoin traded near $1,000. And since then, Bitcoin suffered several drawdowns of up to 75%, yet still surged more than 100-fold from the initial call. Now, we believe Ethereum is embarking on that same super cycle, he wrote, arguing that Ethereum's recent weakness reflects doubt, not deterioration. Now, Bitmine names a new CEO amid the leadership shakeup. So Bitmine has also appointed a new chief executive officer as the company continues to build one of the largest Ethereum treasuries among publicly traded firms. Last month, the company said Qi Xiang will replace Jonathan Bates as CEO, with the transition taking effect immediately. With its substantial Ethereum holdings and credibility with both Wall Street and the Ethereum ecosystem, BitMine is positioned to become a leading financial institution, he said. Alongside the leadership change, BitMine appointed 3 new independent board members, and so there is a big shakeup in leadership going on with BitMine, but they're still following suit. They want to acquire 5% Ethereum. They believe it's going to experience what Bitcoin did, and that's hypercycle. So who knows? Are we going to get that huge Ethereum pump? It's like Ethereum's at 3,000. So like, what would that cycle be like? They said 100 for Ethereum going to $30,000 a coin. Yeah. I don't know. I still like being conservative. Like, let's go back to what I was predicting beforehand. Like, I don't know. Maybe Ethereum's going to, if it does experience that, I'll push it up to 10,000, past that. And like, I think that'd be good enough and pretty conservative. So that'd be like a 3x from here. You know, like, sure, it could go further, but don't be greedy. Take those profits when you can, or just pull your initial and just play with the house money and just be happy you're playing around. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Ethereum. We have the VSocket upgrade, and BitMine is still accumulating it, so hence why it's kind of green today in the last 24 hours, just 1%. But yeah, so let's take a quick commercial break right now. I need to rest my throat, take a nice little sip of soda water, and we will be right back after these messages.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
Yes, and if you guys want to know more about those programs, give us a call. Number's been scrolling down here the entire show, so call or text us at 941-413-8080, or you can go to bitcoinben.io to get more information about all those programs. And I always recommend you guys take advantage of the non-KYC, or no, can't say that, the confidential bulk Bitcoin purchases out there, because when you're in the crypto space, we like being private. We don't like Big Brother, Uncle Sam, government knowing everything we do in space. Hence why we had precious metals, and people liked it. It was under the table, really. It was like not truly tracked. So we can have that with Bitcoin. Like, that's how it was designed to be. But when you're usually onboarding with it, you need to use a centralized exchange. So they take all your information. They know what you're buying. But we offer confidential Bitcoin, so it doesn't hit those exchanges. They don't know your information at all. It just hits us, and then we send it to you. So confidential bulk purchase. So definitely take advantage of that program we have. And again, we change our price. If you think prices are too high and you didn't know, we change our prices. If you want to be a part of our crypto programs, it's only $5 a month to be a part of our programs membership level. That just gains you access to the programs, and that's it. If you want access to our crypto classes, consultations, and whatnot, then you need a classic membership. And yeah, we do have a crypto class today, and that's after the show. We'll be talking about crypto energy and the mystical flow of value. So it's going to be a great class, very deep. Steve Blanco has some slides for us. He's in our Nashville club, and it's going to be great. So yeah, let's continue on with the news now. What else is going on? What's going on with the Solana smartphone? Looks like Ledger finds the popular smartphone chip vulnerable to unpatchable attacks. So a report by the provider of crypto wallets shows that a MediaTek Dimensity 7300 chip could be compromised at its lowest level. So, and that was a pretty cool phone. So what is going on with this chip? So, an unpatched flaw in a widely used smartphone chip developed by Taiwan-based MediaTek allowed researchers to take full control of the device through a precisely timed electromagnetic attack, according to new findings published on Wednesday by crypto wallet provider Ledger. Now, the vulnerable code sits in the chip's boot ROM, the earliest stage of the startup process, meaning it cannot be corrected with a software update. Now, Ledger's Donjon team examined the MediaTek Dimensity 7300, or the MT6878, a 4 nanometer system on chip found in many Android phones. Now, by applying carefully timed electromagnetic pulses during the chip's initial boot sequence, the researchers were able to bypass memory access checks and escalate into EL3, the highest privilege level in the ARM architecture. So, ooh, that's scary. Now, from malware that users could be tricked into installing on their machines to fully promote zero-click exploits commonly used by government-backed entities. Now, there is simply no way to safely store and use one's private keys on those devices, they wrote. Now, the report comes at a time when attacks targeting cryptocurrency holders are on the rise. A July report by Chain Analysis said that over $2.17 billion has been stolen from cryptocurrency services so far in 2025, more than the entirety of 2024. Now, while physical attacks are growing, the majority of crypto-related thefts are perpetrated by hackers through phishing attacks or scams. Now, once they identified the precise timing window, each attempt by the Donjon team took about a second and had a success rate of 0.1 to 1%, allowing a full compromise within minutes under lab conditions. Now, while Ledger is best known for its popular nano hardware wallets, it does not outright say not to use the smartphone-based wallets. Just the report suggests that a new threat vector targeting software developers and users. Ledger did not respond to those requests for comment by Decrypt, but yeah. Now, hardware and software crypto wallets. If you didn't know, a cryptocurrency wallet is a software that stores a user's public and private keys and lets them send and receive and monitor digital assets. So your cryptocurrency is not on your crypto wallet, it's not on your phone. Your crypto lives on the blockchain, which is like your digital storage in the cloud that only you will have the key to, hence why we call it the private keys. Now, the wallet, it just stores those keys and then allows you to be able to send, receive, and monitor your digital assets. So if you didn't know about crypto wallets and how crypto worked, that is really how it is. Now, the different types of wallets out there, we got hardware wallets or cold wallets. Go a step further by keeping these private keys offline on separate physical devices detached from the internet and shielded from attacks that can reach phones or computers. So yeah, they're physical devices. Trezor's got one, Ledger's got one. There are so many different hardware wallets out there, but they're intended to be offline. Now we have software wallets that you usually download to your phone or computer, and we consider these hot because they're usually always connected online somehow. But not all software wallets are hot wallets. You can treat a software wallet as a cold wallet. You just need to treat the device as how a hardware wallet treats the keys. But these are apps that allow users to store their digital assets on a variety of devices, but leave the user open to hacks and phishing attacks. Now, MediaTek, in a statement included in Ledger's report, said that electromagnetic fault injection attacks were out of scope for the MT6878 because the chipset was designed as a consumer-grade component rather than as a high-security module for financial or sensitivity systems. Now, for products with higher hardware security requirements, such as hardware crypto wallets, we believe that they should be designed with appropriate countermeasures against EMFI attacks, they wrote. Now, Ledger said devices built on the MT6878 remain exposed because the flaw resides in the unchangeable silicon. Now, secure element chips, the company added, remain necessary for users who rely on self-custody or handle other sensitive cryptographic operations. Now, since those components are designed specifically to withstand both hardware and software attacks, smartphone threat model, well, just like any piece of technology that can be lost or stolen, it cannot reasonably exclude hardware attacks, Ledger wrote. But the SoCs they use are no more exempt from the effects of fault injection, and the microcontrollers are. Now, and security should really ultimately rely on secure elements, especially for self-custody. So, yeah, again, like this isn't something like anybody can do or common hacker. Like they need to understand electromagnetic fields to be able to do that into the starter. So, again, it's just something to be aware of that's happening with them. So, again, like when you choose your crypto wallet out there, you want to be sure you choose the right one. And if again, if I knew that this chip had the vulnerability and I had a Solana phone on there, I wouldn't be keeping my vast amounts of wealth on that smartphone wallet just because of that. And so, but it still doesn't mean it's wrong to use and everything still. It's a pretty cool phone, comes with airdrops and all that stuff out there. But it's just like when I see stuff like this, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to use that wallet or that device just because, unless they can fix this, but they would need whole new chips in order to do it. So just be aware of it. It's not common, so don't expect like your smartphone, your Solana smartphone is like, oh no, my phone's about to be hacked. It's not about to be hacked. It's just under controlled conditions, they were able to hack the smartphone chip, and yeah, so just be aware of this going on. Now that is our Ledger news finding the Solana phone, but it looks like Ledger is still in the news, and they have partnered with Lamborghini to launch a luxury crypto wallet, or crypto signer. I think they meant really crypto wallet. But Ledger's newest announcement brings together luxury culture and digital security in a way that the crypto industry has rarely seen so far. Now, the company revealed that it has partnered with Lamborghini to create a custom Ledger Stacks, its premium hardware signer, known for its curved display and secure chip. The limited edition device will arrive in early 2026 with custom packaging and a branded magnet folio, blended high design with a careful protection long valued by crypto users. Now, this is a new chapter for crypto security and luxury. Hardware wallets store digital assets offline, keeping them away from online threats and reducing the risk of hacks. Now, they give users full control of their private keys, like we were saying in the last article, which are the codes that allow ownership of crypto. Now, by teaming up with Lamborghini, Ledger is tapping into a cultural symbol, decades in the making. The supercar brand has long been associated with financial success in crypto circles, often used as playful benchmarks for when the digital asset investment might pay off. Now, this type of crossover mirrors a larger trend. More global companies are experimenting with blockchain-related products. A recent example is a major phone maker that added a built-in crypto wallet to its latest flagship device, giving millions of users simple access to self-custody for the first time. Now, these partnerships show that crypto tools are becoming part of everyday technology rather than just something only early adopters understand. Now, here is Ledger's tweet on Win Lambo, the famous quote on like Win Moon, Win Lambo. And they said, now, we've partnered with Lamborghini to create a custom Ledger Stacks connecting the pinnacle of automotive design with the highest standard of security and our most premium signer. Now, let's take a look at this video. Very classy. Okay. Is that Dubai, our future Dubai? All the crypto in the background. But the new Ledger Stacks with Lamborghini. So I wonder how much this wallet's going to run them. I think usually a Ledger Stacks is like a $200 wallet. Let's see if this article says what the price is. So interest in hardware wallets has grown as more people look for safer ways to protect their assets. Research from Chainalysis reported that the global crypto ownership reached more than 580 million people in 2024. With more newcomers entering the market, the demand for secure storage continues to climb. Now, more about Ledger. Ledger announced that the users can now swap Cello directly inside the swap section of their Ledger wallet. This will bring more convenience to anyone managing Cello through a hardware signer. The company highlighted that this update lets people trade the asset without moving it to external platforms. It will reduce risk and keep everything under the same security layer that Ledger devices are known for. And there's Ledger's tweet talking about exciting news about this. But by adding Cello swaps, Ledger continues to push its push to combine strong protection with simple tools that feel natural for everyday users. The message from the team encourages users to explore the new feature, noting that it reflects their broader goal of making secure on-chain activity as easy as possible. So okay, this article didn't say how much the new luxury crypto wallet's going to be. I really hope they don't like double the price of it. And like, I know this is a luxury wallet, so we're going to charge you $500 for it. It's like, don't do it. It's just a label, guys. It's like Apple is just an Apple logo. Lamborghini is just a logo. Ferrari is just a logo. Yeah, sure, they got some stats to and why they put hefty prices on it, but it's just a car, and this is just a normal Ledger Stacks wallet. So hopefully they don't increase the price on it, but I guarantee they probably will, because again, it's luxury. We got to put a price to match that quality. But again, like we're in that phase now. Again, we're seeing a lot of partnerships happening in the space. Lamborghini, so soon we're probably be getting articles on sports teams investing in tokenization of something. Well, that was last year's cycle. Maybe we'll start getting articles about like sports teams, more stores, more companies adopting like some type of crypto technology, whether it's accepting it for payments or making partnerships to join it, be a part of their own wallet out there. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Ledger right now. They talked about their partnership with Lamborghini. We talked about how they found a chip glitch in the Solana smartphones. And yeah, so that's our Ledger news. But let's continue on with Solana Mobile, because we're not done with that news yet. So this is actually kind of some good news, bullish news if you actually want to get involved in their token. But yeah, Solana Mobile is about to roll out a native token in January. So Solana Mobile says its SKR token is tied to its Seeker phone and will launch early next year with a total supply of 10 billion tokens. Now, Solana is set to roll out the awaited native token tied to its latest mobile phone model, Seeker, at the start of 2026, with the coin set to be the governance token of the company's mobile ecosystem. Solana's mobile announcement in an X post on Wednesday that the SKR token will have a total supply of 10 billion tokens, with 30% allocated for the airdrops and then 25% reserved for growth and partnerships. And that's at least 45%. So here was an additional fee. So in addition, 10% of the token supply will be for liquidity, 10% will be for the community treasury, 15% for the Solana Mobile, and then 10% for Solana Labs, the mobile arms parent company. Now, SKR tokens total supply is distributions. And so, yeah, the Solana Mobile said in May that it was planning to launch the SKR token, saying it would give owners of its new Seeker smartphone, which came preloaded with crypto apps and features, and actual ownership in the platform. The company shared that the token would have linear inflation to incentivize early participants who stake it, but it would share more on the token at the upcoming Solana Breakpoint conference on December 11th to the 13th. Now, Solana Mobile eyes ecosystem growth with SKR. So a key selling point of Solana Mobile, initially marked for the Seeker, was its decentralized application store, which hosts over 100 Solana-based dApps, as the firm looked to expand beyond just the phone, just by being seen as a rewards magnet, like its first variant, the Saga. But while it has had some teething issues since launch, Solana Mobile has indicated that the SKR token will be utilized to bolster the dApp store, as well as the ecosystem surrounding the phone. Now, alongside the SKR announcement, Solana Mobile also introduced Guardians, which will validate trust across its phone ecosystem. So at the launch, SKR serves as a growth and coordination mechanism, stake to Guardians, support builders, secure devices, curate the dApp store on the Solana Mobile. And Solana Mobile also said that the ecosystem scales SKR to ensure value flows back into the community that powers it. Now, on the user's end, SKR holders will be able to earn rewards from staking the asset with Guardians. Solana Mobile will be the first Guardian, with others joining later in 2026, such as Helios Labs, 00, and Triton 1. Now, Guardians verify device authenticity, review dApp submissions, as well as enforce community standards, the post shared. Now, the news has coincided with a small bump in the price of Solana, with the price sitting around $140 before the announcement. It was now at $145, up 5% in the last 24 hours. So Solana's seen a nice little increase today, even though there was a dip. Like, where were we in Solana? So we're at 141, so we're down 0.2% in the last 24 hours. So yeah, just a teeny bitty dip. But Solana Mobile is releasing a token, and so yeah, if you have the Seeker phone, you should gain a little piece of it, because how much was getting allocated to them? Was it 30%? Yeah, 30% will go to those airdrops out there, so you'll get a piece of that. So yeah, pretty cool news. Now let's go to our last news article of the evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching, and this is Pepe meme coin website has been exploited, redirecting users to malware and blockade. So if you're a Pepe fan, because you're still in the meme coin space, which I don't know why, those are such a gamble, but if you're still in the Pepe meme coin, stay away from the website for now until we get word that everything is fixed. but the website of Pepe's meme coin has been hit with a front-end attack, and users are encouraged to stay clear of the website. So, Pepe, But the official website for Pepe meme coin has been compromised by attackers who are redirecting users to a malicious link. Now, Blockade System has identified a front-end attack on Pepe, and the site contains a code of Inferno Drainer, the cybersecurity company said on Thursday. Now, Inferno Drainer is a suite of scam tools that is employed by threat actors, including phishing website templates, wallet drainers, and social engineering tools. Here is Blockade System how they identified the Pepe Coin Eats account. It's malicious. Now, the price of Pepe did not react immediately to the hack, but the meme coin is up by about 4% over the last 24 hours, but still declining by more than 77% over the last 12 months, according to CoinGecko data. Now, the latest cybersecurity incident highlights the ongoing needs for vigilance among crypto users. Users are encouraged to stay clear of the site until the issue is resolved, and Cointelegraph reached out to Pepe and Blockade for comment, but both did not respond to this. So, again, guys, this is why we need to stay vigilant. We need to pay attention to the news. Again, hence why I read you the daily crypto news to keep you informed on what's going on. Because, again, if you were a Pepe user, would you have even really noticed about that? You just hold a coin. You're not really following the news. So I like covering these articles out there when they pop up so you guys are aware, you know what's happening, and hopefully you can stay safe. So if you have Pepe, stay away from their website for now. Just wait till it gets fixed, and then you should be all good. And there will definitely be an article or announcement saying it. But that is it, guys, for the news. That's everything. That was a lot of news articles. Woo! Let's take a look at our fear and greed index. Where are we at now? We are moving up. We are now at 27 fear. So we are out of extreme fear territory. We've been moving up, and that's just very bullish signs right there. Bitcoin's currently sitting at $92,000. Ethereum's at $31. XRP $2.12. So that's still staying in the same place. Solana is at $141, and Tron's 28 cents. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the crypto space, guys. It is Thursday, so hope I see all you club members out there at our crypto class today. That's going to be going on in 30 minutes, so we'll see you online. I sent out the newsletter this morning, so check your emails. If it's not there, check the spam, but that will have our Zoom link for the class, and you guys can participate and ask questions. So everybody have an awesome Thursday, and I will see you again tomorrow with some more crypto news. So peace out, folks.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.